Alright, with there practically just being a day left until Firefly, I'm finally here with the should you or should you not summon for Firefly. This video is going to be people that are on edge for summoning or not. I know some of you are already made up your minds if you're summoning or skipping. Good for you, bro. This is for people that are on edge. So this video will run you through the kit, and then give scenarios why you should summon and why you shouldn't summon. I will say, when I am going through the kit, I'm going to briefly be going over each skill. I will pop up the full info on the screen, but I personally will just be briefly going over each skill. I do already have a build guide and a full kit video that you can check out if you're interested more on the kit side. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Before I get to the video, drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for more videos like this, and let's get straight into the video. So once again, first talking about our kit. Firefly is a fire character on the path of destruction. Basic attack just deals 100% of Sam's attack to a single target enemy. For a skill, pretty much she consumes 40% of her HP and regenerates 60% of her max HP, and then also does 200% of Sam's attack to a single target enemy, of fire damage I should say, and you also gain a 25% action forward if you do use it. Her ultimate makes you enter the complete combustion, which gives you another turn, and also makes your basic attack and skill enhanced. You gain a 60% speed increase, and your skill and basic attack gain a 50% weakness break efficiency, and also make enemies take 20% more break damage. There is a countdown timer for the complete combustion state, and has a fixed speed of 90. But the enhanced basic attack restores 20% of the student's max HP and deals 200% of fire damage of Sam's attack to a single target enemy. And then the blast enhanced skill restores 25% of the student's max HP. You inflict fire weakness onto a single target enemy for 2 turns. You deal fire damage equal to 0.2 times break effect plus 200% of Sam's attack. And you also do fire damage to adjacent targets, 0.1 times break effect plus 100% to them, and the break effect taken into calculation is capped at 360%. For a talent, the lower HP, the less damage you receive, and if you are in complete combustion, you just have the maximum effect, and you also get a 30% increase to effect res. If you do have lower than 50% energy when the battle starts, you automatically go up to 50%, and when you do have max energy, you dispel all debuffs. Her technique allows her to leap into the air and move freely for 5 seconds, and when you do plunge and attack an enemy, you attack all enemies within a set area, you apply fire weakness to all enemies at the start of each wave, lasting for 2 turns, and then deal fire damage equal to 200% of Sam's attack to all enemies. For her bonus traces, her A2 allows you to reduce toughness on enemies that do not have fire weakness by an amount of 55% of the original toughness reduction from abilities. Her A4 allows you to convert toughness reduction to an instance of super break. If you have 200% break effect, you get 35% super break, and if you have 360%, you gain 50% super break damage. And for her A6, every 10 attack you do have that exceeds 1800, you get a 0.8% increase to break effect. The screenshot will list 1%, but again, it's not 1% in the official kit, it is 0.8. Moving on to her Eidolons. Her first Eidolon allows the enhanced skill to ignore 50% of target's defense and doesn't consume skill points. Her second Eidolon, if you do defeat someone or weakness break them with the enhanced basic attack or enhanced skill, meaning if you're in complete combustion state, you gain an extra turn to attack, and you can only trigger it again after 1 turn. E4 gives you a 50% effect res increase while in complete combustion, and the E6 gives you a 20% fire res pen when you are in complete combustion, and the enhanced basic attack and enhanced skill increases weakness break efficiency by 50%. So as you can tell by all this info, Firefly is a break-based character, mainly building her with break effect and also building her with attack so she can make use of her A6 trace, giving her more break effect. Her 10 attack she does have exceeding 1800. You can tell she has a lot of innate stuff such as speed increase, giving herself energy, giving herself weakness break efficiency, being able to give herself break effect, and also being able to convert to super break damage. So anything weakness related, Firefly does have it. And to top it all off, she's able to implant fire weakness, making her this much more effective, so she can practically do everything on her own. And now, rather than talk about whether you, the viewer, should or should not summon, for the people who are in between on summoning or not, this first section will be about why you should summon. So the ultimate way to decide if you should or should not summon is to look at your account and see what you currently have and see where you might be lacking. In order to do that, you have to look at 3 categories. You have to look at your DPSs, you have to look at your sustains, and you have to look at your harmony supports. The main endgame goal of Star Rail is to have 2 well-built teams, and so for that you'll need 2 of practically each category. And a lot of accounts will have an amount of DPSs, a lot of accounts will have amount of sustains, and a lot of accounts will have amounts of harmony supports. Everyone is different, everyone has different priorities, everyone's summoned for different things, so you as the viewer have to look at that before you can make this decision. If you have your sustain portions filled, which I will say this again, as I always say, make sure you do have 2 good sustains, or at least 2 well-built sustains, because you can't deal damage if you're dead. And if you comment, well, the enemies can't deal damage if they can't attack you because they're dead, I will shoot you. Anyway, mainly look towards the fact if you do have 2 sustains, and if your answer is yes to that, then you're good on that. Then you look towards your DPSs. Do you have two built DPSs that are doing the job for you? Because if you're someone that already has someone like Acheron, Jinglu, Danheng, follow-up team, all that kind of stuff already built, then you already can sort of see that you have enough DPSs. But if you're someone that might have one side of a follow-up team, so let's say you have someone like Ratio and Topaz built, but on the second team you are running someone with a very subpar build or not that crazy of a DPS, then that is going to be the first time you'd consider, yes, I should summon for Firefly as she is a DPS. And now anything past that initial decision is mainly on considering her playstyle. Firefly is a character that needs to break the enemy in order to do damage. If you don't break the enemy, you are not going to do any damage to them pretty much, but if you break them, then her damage absolutely skyrockets because that's how her kit works. And so you also got to look towards your account and see if you have the necessary teammates for her. As I said, Firefly can practically do everything on her own. While that is true, she can't do anything too crazy on her own. Her damage overall herself is fine, but it's not that great, and you do need some specific characters to make her perform at her best. And so you would look at your account, and if you have some characters that work best with her build, or you are willing to build them, then she is going to be a character for you. Those characters include such as Harmony Trailblazer, mainly for 1, Ruanmei, mainly for 2, and it is practically just those two characters because those two are very important for Firefly. And anything past that is like sustains. If you want to have an optimal team, running those two with someone like Gallagher, do you have a Gallagher build? Are you willing to build him? So anything again past that is just to consider, do you have the necessary teammates, or are you willing to pull for them, / are you willing to build them? And then the last thing to consider is if you enjoy the break style gameplay. If you are a fan of the whole break effect gameplay where you have to break their weakness bars in order to do good damage, being able to shred through their bars and then deal the damage, that kind of stuff, if you're a big fan of that, then that's another reason that you should consider summoning for Firefly, especially if you are in that area where you like the break effect gameplay and then you also need another DPS and you are also willing to build a team around Firefly, then she is going to be a very, very good character to summon for you. And now for the reasons why you should not summon for Firefly. So the reasons you should not summon are practically just going against everything I did say for the reasons you should summon. So if you look at your account and you might not have the amount of sustains and you might not have the harmony supports, but you have enough DPSs as I mentioned, if you already have Acheron, Jinglu, Danheng, follow-up team, a dot team, all that kind of stuff, you already have all that stuff built and ready to go and they already kind of clear content for you enough, but you're mainly struggling in other scenarios, then that's the main thing where you should say, okay, I should skip Firefly for something else that I need, be it a sustain or be it a harmony support. The next thing for the reasons you should not summon for Firefly is if you are not willing to summon / build her best teammates, especially to name a few, she is rerunning with Ruanmei. So if you do not already have Ruanmei on your account, if you're not able to get her, that is fine. But if you're also not willing to build someone like Harmony Trailblazer, then I would not summon for Firefly at all. Because without at least one of the two, Firefly's performance is drastically reduced as they do a lot for her kit. The Harmony Trailblazer increasing the break damage they receive, giving break damage, all that kind of stuff, giving break effect. Ruanmei giving weakness break efficiency, giving break effect, giving speed, giving damage dealt, all that kind of stuff. All-type res pen, both of them are very, very good for Firefly. And if you don't want to / cannot summon for Ruanmei and you aren't really willing to build Harmony Trailblazer or just any other teammates that work really good with Firefly, then I would definitely not consider summoning for Firefly, and I definitely save your Jades for some other character coming in the future or rerunning eventually. And then obviously the last reason is if you just genuinely do not like the break style gameplay. So if you don't like the idea of trying to shred through bars and then doing damage, if you just want to do the damage or do some setup first, then that would be another reason you don't want to consider summoning for Firefly. And if that is the case, you should feel free to skip. So again, if you already have DPSs that already do the work for you, then there's no point unless you just like her. Another reason if you're just not willing to build her teammates. And then the last reason is if you're not really into the break effect style gameplay. And so yeah, that is the should you, or I guess why you should or should not summon for Firefly, giving you reasons on why she would be a good choice to choose, and then reasons why she shouldn't, and also going over kit and eidolons, so you can get an idea of how she works. Let me know if you guys are going to be summoning for Firefly, if you're going to be going for dupes or lycons or anything like that. Me personally, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is going to be the first character I'm going to skip. It's been a while since I've skipped a character, but Firefly is someone that I'm sadly just not that interested in. Although I definitely will make sure to learn the optimal builds and such for her, just so any guide with her will not be misleading and not just me like, oh, I think this is good or anything like that. I will definitely make sure I do test, do the usual, and probably hop on other accounts that might have Firefly, use it there, test different lycons, test different relics, and then bring you the optimal guides you guys want. So yeah, me personally, it's kind of refreshing me able to finally skip a character. I will be going on Ruanmei though to get the E1 because that E1 is just too damn good. But again, I could see why people want to summon for her, and I could see why she's probably going to have some of the most banner sales ever. But again, let me know if you guys will be summoning. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope you guys found the video helpful. Peace out.